Let us continue to tell our children how much we love them.
Yes.
Let us continue to affirm them.
Yes.
And remind them that they are special.
Yes.
And that they are as powerful as everybody else.
That's
Amen?
right. That's
Amen.
right.
Amen. Amen. Today, I come with good tidings as always. As I share from the book of Psalms, chapter 112, verses 1 through 9. A psalm that is very familiar, but speaks volumes as to the blessing that we receive from having a fellowship with the Lord. And therefore I come to us talking about the benefits of walking in the fear of the Lord. Why use the word benefit? You know, this word, sometimes you are praying and thinking about something and something pops out, keeps coming to your mind. And you know what? I thought the word benefit is fitting, especially as we live in a world, a time, and a nation where we are always asking the question, what's in it for me? Unless something benefits us, sometimes it's not easy to involve ourselves. And therefore I thought it would be, fitting to say the benefits of walking with the Lord. So that we know there are benefits. There is something for us when we walk in the fear of the Lord. Why say benefit when we are talking about fear? Does fear benefit anybody? Yes, it does. Because when we are talking about the fear of the Lord, we are not really talking about that unpleasant emotion that is caused when we believe that something or someone is dangerous to us. That's not the kind of fear that I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the fear that is likely to cause pain or a threat, a fear that causes terror. No. I am talking about respect and reverence and having a relationship with the Lord. The benefits of walking in the fear of the Lord is about the blessings that we receive when we have a relationship with the Lord. Because when we have a relationship with the Lord, it's no longer about us, but about the Lord. That is the author and finisher of our faith. The one that is the author and finisher of who we are, our source of being, is no longer about us when we are walking in the fear of the Lord. And walking in the fear of the Lord means that it's a daily thing. It means that we are not always sitting, but rather we are in motion. Because when you are walking, it means that you are moving from one place to another. So therefore, it means we are having a relationship that is moving. A relationship that is in motion every day. A relationship that is not stagnant. A relationship that we are working on every day. A relationship that is growing every day. That's what walking in the fear of the Lord means. There are benefits. Why benefits? What does the word benefit mean? It means an advantage or a profit gained from something, a payment or a gift made by an employer towards an employee, benefits that are made by the state towards the citizens of a country, of a state, those who live in a state. For example, the benefits that we get from having an insurance company, an insurance policy rather, the benefits that the poor have from the welfare society, the benefits that we will get when we retire from our social security fund. Those are benefits. And therefore, there are benefits. There is something that we gain from having a relationship with the Lord. Because that's what the psalmist, Psalm 112, is reminding us. When it opens by saying, praise the Lord. When you are praising the Lord, you are thanking the Lord. You are thankful. You are in a good mood because there is something awesome about this God. That's why the psalmist opens in Psalm 112 by saying, praise the Lord. When you are praising the Lord, you are worshiping the Lord. You are thankful for the blessings that the Lord has given you. You are thankful for something awesome that the Lord has done for you. That's why we say praise the Lord. He says, praise the Lord. Blessed are those who fear the Lord, who find great delight in his commandments. Those who observe the commandments of the Lord. Remember, it's not always about keeping the law of Moses. Because Jesus said, you know what wraps up the 10 Commandments is love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. The benefits of keeping the Lord's commandments. It says that those who love the Lord and are blessed by the Lord, their children will be mighty in the land. Their generation will be upright and they will be blessed. There will be wealth and riches in their houses, and their righteousness endures forever. Even in darkness, light dawns for the upright, for those who are gracious and compassionate and righteous. Many times we count blessings in terms of material wealth. Blessings are not always in terms of material wealth. Because, you know, I believe that you and I know that you can have all the money that you need, but still be miserable. What is it that we consider as wealth and riches? For me, wealth and riches is being in a good relationship with the Lord and with my family, with my friends, with my church community, with everybody that I encounter. That's a blessing, and those are riches. No amount of money can buy a good relationship. Because if a relationship is based on riches, it doesn't last forever. That's a conditional relationship. Because once those riches are no longer there, it means the relationship is gone. It comes to, what's in it for me? But when our relationships are unconditional, that's wealth. Because when I'm down, my friends will be there for me. When I have no money, my friends are there for me. When I need somebody to share what is in my heart, my brokenness, my pain, somebody is ready to listen. Isn't that more powerful and more valuable than riches? Because money cannot talk to us. Yes, it can give us the comfort we need. But at the end of the day, you know what? You can sleep in a theater, whatever cloud, what do they call this cloud, 90 bed that costs 10,000 or 30,000, and yet toss all night. It's not about wealth, but it's about the peace of mind. That's why the psalmist says, it is well with their souls. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like billows roll. Whatever, my Lord, whatever comes my way, because I have a relationship with the Lord, I can rise up and say, it is well with my soul. Because it's not about my circumstances. But it's about me knowing that even in the midst of my challenges, I do not tarry alone. There is somebody. There is that awesome power that is always with me. That speaks to my heart and my soul and reminds me that it's going to be all right. It's going to be all
It'll be all right.
Yeah. Isn't that more powerful than riches?
Oh, yes.
It will be well with our souls. And when it says that their generation will be blessed, many times, you know what? Because we live in a very, very materialistic world, we think that, you know, it is only when our children do so well at school and they, you know, they have these degrees and all that. There is nothing wrong with that, trust me. But you know what? The blessedness of our children is not always in those things.
That's all, yeah.
A child may not have the education
Yes.
that the world demands, and yet, you know what? They are sweet.
Yes.
They are the sweetest kids that you can ever
Oh,
have.
yes.
That's a blessing. Isn't that a blessing?
Yes.
Perhaps I speak as a mother that has so different children. My children are so different from each other. And I always speak and look at things from the perspective of a mother who has a special child.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Lord taught me a lot.
Yes.
I don't always look at my children in terms of what they've achieved in material things, but in terms of who they are,
Yeah. Okay.
in terms of the relationship that they have. And one of the things that has always amazed me is that our special child is the one that sometimes cares about the others more than those. So I always make sure that I don't count my blessings, the blessings of the children, in terms of what they have achieved,
Yeah.
but in terms of what the Lord has laid upon them.
Oh, yeah.
Because if we are not careful, we will miss the blessing
Oh, yes.
of those children that we consider do not measure up to the standards of the Lord. Their children will rise up and their generation will be blessed, and therefore we need to make sure that we know what blessings are. When in darkness light dawns for the upright, for those who are gracious and compassionate and righteous to the Lord. When we are covered by darkness, the light of Christ will shine through us. Because we know that the light of Christ will always overpower the darkness that is in the world. We are blessed, my brothers and sisters in Christ. The benefits of walking with the Lord. There are many. David knew what it meant to be a beneficiary of God's grace. Because David, as I always say, was not a man that was worthy to be called a man after God's heart. But because he knew and he experienced the grace of the Lord, that's why he rose up to write this, to say there are benefits in walking with the Lord. Because his grace is always abundant. Grace is a gift that we don't deserve. And yet the Lord gives to us the grace of God's mercy, the grace of God's forgiveness, the grace of God's love, the grace of God's presence. Isn't that wonderful? Because if it wasn't for that grace, I wouldn't be here. Because it would mean there are no benefits to being a Christian. It's not easy to be a Christian. Because the enemy is always out there roaring, looking for somebody to devour. But because of God's grace, even when we fall, you know that grace picks us up and raises up from our dust and makes something powerful of us. Even in the midst of our limitations, that grace that we receive, and yet we know we don't deserve. Those are benefits of walking with the Lord. Because when we walk with the Lord, as the psalmist say, we will be in a position to see other people differently. Those who walk in the fear of the Lord realize that the blessings that they have been given are not for them only so that they will lord it over those that do not have. But when we are walking in the fear of the Lord, like we were reminded last week, we rise up and remember that the fast that the Lord is calling on us is not always about, abstinence from food. It is that fast that requires for us to look at the lowly and do something about that. Because those who walk in the fear of the Lord will be able to dig deep into their pockets and give to charity. Those who walk in the fear of the Lord will look at those children who do not have, not to, you know what, many times we say, you know what, they are like that because the mother is like this, like that. And yet, you know what, we do not know their story. It is only when we walk beside them and sit down and listen to them that we will realize that, you know what, they have not caused their predicament. But we can only do that when we walk in the fear of the Lord.
Yes.
That's what the psalmist is reminding us as a people. The world out there needs you and I, my brothers and sisters in Christ. Because we are the hands and the feet of Jesus Christ. We are the ones that are supposed to be the listening ear to our brothers and sisters. We are the ones that are supposed to give to charity, to provide the food and the clothing. We are the ones that are supposed to listen to one another, even in the church. Instead of saying it's too much information. When someone says, you say, good morning, how are you? And somebody says to us, you know, I didn't sleep well. You say, you're like, oh, we are ready to say, oh, I'm sorry, and move on. And yet when we live in the fear of the Lord, when somebody says, I did not sleep well, you say, oh, what's going on? You may never know. You may never know. All that person needs is just that compassion. But we can't give it unless we are walking in the fear of the Lord. My brothers and sisters in Christ, God is calling all of us.
Oh, yes.
All of us to rise up. To rise up to the challenge. Let us walk in the fear of the Lord. Let's pray every day. Stay on our knees. Let's love one another. Forgive one another. Be present for one another. And rise up and say, Lord, here I am. Send me where there is a need. There's nothing as powerful as making a difference in somebody's life. To God be the glory. We will continue to walk in the fear of the Lord. Let us rise.
Yes.